What's going on YouTube? Today I'm going to be sharing the exact script that I used to make $8,000 per month when I was 19. I'm 21 now. And I did this as an appointment setter, not even doing this as your traditional closer. So you can definitely make some serious money within this, within sales, besides being a closer. And this was in a remote role as well, right? But here's what you're going to learn today. The complete breakdown, the exact script I used to make 8K a month at 19, psychology behind each stage, so why this actually works, how to get started as a setter literally tomorrow, and ultimately where to find these jobs, pretty much identical to what I did. Right, so the offer I was selling at the time was a placement agency for professionals, but today's example is going to be going over sales training because that's something I'm looking to launch. So I formulated the script for that. So here's the script structure overview. So you have four main stages. You have the intent stage, right? What we're doing here is we're getting a tangible plus experience. What this means is we're getting their tangible result of where they're looking to go, and then their current situation, where are they currently at, and what problems are they facing. And then we'll go into logical certainty, right? So this is the root cause of their root cause of their problems, right? What are they currently experiencing? And then we're going to probe them to understand that the reason they're in the situation they're in is because of X, Y, Z. Right, and then from there, we're going to expand the problem and then try to transition into booking and qualifying and closing them. Excuse me. All right, so stage one, this is the intent stage, right? So when you go like, hey, is this John? Yeah, what's up, buddy? It's Andy here from XYZ company. Oh, how's it going? I'm doing good, man. Looks like you just downloaded a PDF for possible help with making more sales, all that jazz. So what is it in specific you were looking for help with in order to make more sales, help more people, all that jazz? Just tell me that. Goal is to get two things, a tangible and an experience, right? So usually they would be like, help with making more sales, all that jazz. What was it in specific you're looking to get help with in order to make more sales? Oh, I was just wanting to get help with XYZ, right? That's usually what they would do. Like, for example, when I was doing staffing, we had a hiring guide for that specific year. So I'd be like, hey, so it looks like you downloaded our hiring guide for getting possible help with obviously hiring better talent and all that jazz. So what is it in specific you were looking to get help with when it comes to bringing on more talent? Just tell me that. And then they would go ahead and let you know, right? So you want to get two things, a tangible and an experience, right? So let's understand a tangible. A tangible is somebody's goal or what they want. Example would be, I want to make more sales. I want to help more people. I want to grow my e-commerce store. I want to get more leads. I want to get in shape, right? So the key here, so shit will let me move. It's their desired outcome. All right. So understanding experiences is, what is an experience? A problem in the past. Example, I have 10 calls and get 5 objections. Maybe I only overcome 3 of them. Follow up object question. How have you seen that? What have you seen that makes you feel like you're not good at objection handling? Another example, tangible, is I want to get more leads. Experience, I've only been getting 5 a month for the past 6 months. So what I mean by that here is we come back to the script part. One second. So like, what is it specific you're looking to get help with in order to make more sales, help more people, all that jazz? Or like, it looks like you downloaded a PDF about getting help with bringing on more talent. Yeah, yeah, I do remember that. Okay, and like, what was it in specific you were looking to get help with when it comes to hiring better talent? Tell me that. Oh, well, I was looking to get better talent because we've been having problems with XYZ. Boom. Now you not only did you get the tangibles, like they want to get help with better talent, but on top of that, you're going ahead and grabbing, the root cause of that is that they've been struggling to bring people on board. Right? Then you get the stage 2 of logical certainty. The stage 2, which is logical certainty. Part A is they have 3 goals, right? We have 3 goals of this part, which is get the root cause, identify the problem, and probe to expand the problem size so they understand it in their head, and therefore they want to book a call. Right. So starting the questions is, what sales scripts or sales approach do you have in place now that's causing you to get all those objections? I learned it from Andy Elliott. There you go. Right. Or for my example, it'd be like, so what a hiring process or hiring approach do you have in place now that's causing you to get those objections? Oh, yeah, we're hiring a house. Our team's a little bit strapped. We're kind of a small team, so I don't have time to do it full time, and we're having a lot of bottlenecks within our business. Or for example, as a smaller company, right? Yeah, we're trying to expand and grow, but we're having a hard time finding the right talent. Most people come in the doors either want too much money or they don't have the experience we want, and that would be their answer, right? So then we go into stage 2 of logical certainty, part B. So you're going to be continuing the dig, right? This is really, getting into the probing aspect. So how long have you been using that script for? Or how long have you been trying to hire in-house them? It's been like 3 years since I started my career. They could do that. Or it could be like, Oh, and the whole entire time of us having our business. So like, what caused you to use Andy Elliott's script? Or for my example, it would be like, so what caused you to just want to hire from internal or hire in house or use XYZ job website, whatever they said? That would be it's just what everybody else was using, or that's just what I was taught. The purpose of this is to make them associate their current script with their problems or their current way of dealing with their situation with their problems. So whatever you're selling, you want them to associate their methodology is the reason they're currently facing their problems. So that way they're like, oh shit, this is what's actually, this right here, the way I think and act is the reason I am having this problem. So that way you're kind of building the gap there, right? Where it's like, oh shit, probably I shouldn't be associated with this. And then that way they're open to new possibilities, which is going to be you getting them on a meeting to further expand. So why this works is the association process, right? Their current script equals their current experience and problems. When they associate pain with their process, the result is they want to push away from that script, the outcome being seeds doubt in their current approach, and the benefit makes them open to their solution, which I just said. So stage 2 is the problem section, right? So in the script, you'd be like, do you like that sales approach you have in place now besides getting all those objections? Them, it's not too bad, it's okay. Or example, do you like the hiring approach you're taking now, like what you have in place? I mean, hiring in-house and having trouble finding people who fit your criteria or are in your pay range. It's not too bad. It's okay. Well, look, like, what do you like about it? Let's start there. Or I'd be like, it's all right. I'm not a big fan. Okay, well, what do you like about it? Right? Let's go ahead and start there. Because that means then they're open to you asking them what they don't like about it after they explain what they like about it, right? Versus like, why do you not like about it? Like, it's just a little, you know what I mean? So them, they'd be like, it's simple. I've been using it a long time. It feels comfortable. That's really often you're going to get, it's just what I know. Is there anything specifically you could change about the script or hiring process, whichever one, or the results coming out of it specifically if you could? And so what we're doing here is we're having them now share like what they would change or what they're looking to get out of their, like, change about their situation, right? And they're identifying like that they need to make a change basically, unless they want to keep getting the same exact results that they have been. And so experience versus problem, there's a key difference, by the way. So this is why we asked twice. So the experience first ask caught them off guard. They could be making dinner or on a date or in between meetings. So they're not thinking about their sales skills. They're not thinking about whatever you're selling, the offer, bringing on more talent, whatever it is. So, and they're usually going to give you a surface level answer. So the problem is the second ask. You've been talking about sales or whatever their issue is for the past couple of minutes. So their mind is now focused on that. So they only have time to think and give you a much deeper answer. Versus like, oh, I downloaded Get Help with Hiring. Well, we're actually having trouble hiring in-house. It's leading to slow hiring times, which prevents us from scaling. We're overspending on certain talent. We're getting talent, spending time with training them up just to understand they're not a good fit, blah, 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 blah. That's what I would typically experience, right? So then we get into problem expansion, which is we make the pain bigger. So an example response would be the current script triggers resistance, people get guarded. So your problem would be, how do you mean by guarded? Well, they would say they give surface level answers, they don't go in depth. Well, how long have you noticed that? Since I started using the script 3 years ago, right? So now we're having them expand the problem and the duration of time that they've been feeling it. Okay, so now they understand, okay, I've been experiencing this for this period of time. Right? So like, how do you mean by, like, if coming back to this as well, like you make the pain bigger. So their current script triggers resistance, people get guarded, right? So for me, it would be like their current hiring process limits scalability, meaning they can't hire the people they need to grow their business. Like, how do you mean they're not hireable? They don't fit your culture. How do you mean by guarded? Have them elaborate. Or you could just say being guarded or not good fit. And if you literally repeat what they say with a curious tone, they'll often expand upon it, right? So if somebody says, hey, I'm having a bad day. Bad day? What do you mean? Oh, well, this and that happened. And how long have you noticed that? How long has that been going on? Well, obviously you put it a day. There's a time zone there. We're like, how's the wife going? It's all right. All right? What do you mean? Oh, well, it's good, but we're having this and that problem. Damn, how long's that been going on? Well, honestly, man, like the past 6 months. Now you just had them elaborate on what the problem is and then also how long it's going. So that way it's in their top of their mind, right? So then we're getting the connecting the dots. So the final connection is, do you feel like them staying guarded has an impact on those objections you mentioned earlier? Them, yes. Do you feel, do you feel like not bringing in a talent that isn't a good fit for your company is based upon has been a byproduct of the hiring process. I haven't spent a couple of years, so let me read this. So, do you feel like do you feel like the type of talent you've been attracting, which either is too expensive or isn't right fit for you and your culture, right, has had an impact on those, has been byproducts of your hiring process? Some bullshit like that, right? Let's just stick with this example. Do you feel like them staying guarded has had an impact on those objections you mentioned earlier? Them, yes. In what way? Them, when they're guarded, they don't go deep into the problems, so they have value objections at the end. Perfect. Right, so the result is current script is equaling the problems each feels a pain, each of them wanting to change, or their current hiring process is leading to problems of which you can pain, equaling them wanting to change, or their current way of making money has given them problems, so given them pain, which makes them want to change, or their way of trying to lose weight, blah, blah, blah. The process goes on and on. So it really works for anything, right? I use this in B2B and B2C as well. So stage 4 is transition to booking. So the 3 goals is to financially qualify. Can they afford it? Willingness. Then there's willingness to invest. Are they ready to pay? Then there's book call, set the appointment, and then there's financial qualification script, right? In an ideal world, where do you feel you want to be in 6 months in terms of monthly commissions? Them, 20K a month. How far are you from that now? I'm at 10K a month. Boom. Or like in an ideal world, like where do you want to be in 6 months when it comes to scaling the business versus where you're at now? Like revenue wise or employee count wise, right? Because then you can get a good gist if it's a B2B offer. Or if they're trying to make money online, like, okay, and in terms of making money with drop shipping or e-com, where do you want to be in 6 months as far as income wise? Oh, I want to be at 15, 20K a month. Okay, and like how far off of that number are you at right now? Oh, about a quarter of the way. Now we know, okay, they're probably making 5, 6K a month. They can probably afford the product or service if it's a 4K, 5K offer, right? And then willingness to invest. And let's say there was a way to acquire the skill, right, to go from 5K to 20K a month with drop shipping. Would you actually be willing to invest in yourself if that's what it took in order to get to that 20K a month? Let's say you had a way to help you acquire the right skill sets to go from 10K to 20K a month. Would you be willing to invest in yourself if that's what it took in order to bridge that gap? Yes, I would be. The setup, they just told me they make 10K a month and they're willing to invest. And then now we get into the next part, right? So the whole purpose of this is to understand if they're even willing and open-minded to making a change. And usually they will be. And then you go for the call, or the close, which is booking the call, right? Based on what I've heard with the objections and people being standoffish with you and that overall resistance, I feel like there might be a possibility of helping you get to that 20K a month. What I could do is connect you with Andreas and you could dive deeper into where you are now versus where you need to be in terms of skill to get the 20K a month. And if he feels we could help you, he would walk you through potential advanced training for your sales skills. Will that be helpful? Then yes, it would be. And obviously you can tell here this is from Andreas's content. So get to the next portion. Then this is the complete psychology, right? So what just happened is we financially qualified them that they do make 10K a month or they're making 5K a month with their job. Their willingness to invest into this, right? So they're like, oh, I'm actually open to it. And then the pain association is their current scripts or their current hiring process or their current job is equivalent to their problem. Then we give them a solution is what they need, right? Is that we've displayed expertise on the call. Via the questions we showed, we can just demonstrate we kind of understand them in their situation. Since we're talking to these type of people, this is why you need to obviously understand like how to speak to individuals, and we possibly could help them with that problem. And then now they understand like, okay, you might have what I need from versus where I'm at. Let's have the chat further. And the result is a qualified prospect ready for your closer to close. So here's how you can actually get started as a closer, right? The reality is I've actually spent over 20K on like education and coaching programs, but you can absolutely start for free. So what's available out there for you? There's full trainings on YouTube on like how to be an appointment setter and guides and stuff like that. You can use this script and framework to actually speak on the phone and do your role plays. There's a whole entire outreach guide on my channel, which I'll actually link in the description below on how to actually land and vet these offers. And then you can do this regardless of experience level, right? And if you go check the outreach guide, I'll drop in the description below. I'll go over that more in detail. So here's some key takeaways. Remember, setters can make serious money. I was making 7, 8K a month, depending on the day, depending on the month. At 19, you can get tangible experience and get tangible plus experience fast. That's what you need to do is like, where are they at? Where are they looking to get to? And then associate their current approach, their current way of doing things with pain. Hiring process is leading to them not being able to scale through talent or scale through adding better people to their team, or their current script is hurting them because they're facing resistance on the sales calls. And you expand the problem to increase motivation, have them elaborate on what all of that is doing to them. For example, like how exactly is having bad talent hurting the business, how is the objection handling and resistance affecting their sales calls, their process, in order for them to increase motivation to actually hop on the call, understand how long this has been going on for, and then qualify them financially before booking them, right? And getting commitment to invest before closing. All right. So that's all I got for you today. If you found this useful at all, definitely reach out to me if you have any questions. But if you want more valuable content like this regarding sales, just go ahead and drop a subscription down below. I have some videos on my channel kind of going over my experience. I'm living overseas now, been doing the online money stuff for a few years. And then, like I said, if you're looking to land your first role, I do have an outreach guide download in the description as well. But if you wanted help getting placed on an offer or getting help one-on-one from me, feel free to, once again, DM me on Instagram or just book a call down below if this is something you're really serious about.